What's up, guys? Dodge Runner 95. Second upload for this tonight. Hopefully it works. So, as you can judge by the title down below here, it's another one of those videos of a little project we got going on with this Toro ride mower. So, a buddy of mine, Mikey LaFata, love the guy to death. He's a good buddy. He was out here, I believe, Friday night? Yeah, Friday night. And he lended me a hand with doing some work on this little bugger. Well, pretty much what we did is we pulled off the heat shield, exhaust, pulled the spark plug, which I may need to really replace here soon, or after all this is done. And we also pulled the valve assembly and head off the motor. Upon doing that, we realized something. This motor is running very rich. And it's running rich on fuel and it's burning oil. So I'm wanting to say that's why when I first got this mower, had no oil in it. Not me. I didn't do it. I played the fifth. So, kind of a little thing. Another thing that we started doing is we pulled the PTO and drive pulley off the motor, which most riding mowers built after, I want to say 92. Yeah, after 1992, or a vertical shaft riding mower. You can go out there, you can find some that are a horizontal shaft. Actually, I'll use my woodworking tool here, or chisel here, to give a more visual. So a horizontal shaft is, and this T-jug. So here you got your motor, and here you got the drive shaft, or the shaft coming out of the motor. Horizontal shafts come out the side, while a vertical shaft comes out the bottom. But you really never see it. You might find one in every 100,000. They have a vertical shaft that comes out the top. Why is beyond me. So don't ask me why. I've seen maybe one in my lifetime. But horizontal shafts, vertical shafts, you mostly find it coming out the bottom or the side of the motor. Rarely do you see any other way that they go. But let me grab the pulley. Alright, so I'm also set the bolt down here too. So this is actually the pulley off this mower. You can look at it and see that there is damage from where belts have been replaced or it's hit something. God knows what. But anyways, the smaller one is the drive pulley that the drive belt will go on to allow the tractor to go forwards or reverse, or yeah. This larger pulley here on the bottom is the PTO pulley, where the drive belt for the deck. Yeah, actually no. Proper termination is, well, a couple different terminations it can be used as is a deck belt or deck drive belt. And of course, as I really don't need to, but this is the bolt that runs through the center here and screws into the vertical shaft or horizontal shaft motor and secures it. Most often these bolts will will have a lock washer that has a small slit in it, like so, and a normal but a little bit thicker than what you'd usually find, like a grade 8 1/2-inch washer. This little 3/8, maybe 7/16 washer. No, yeah, 3/8. 3/8 washer is about as thick as a 1/2-inch one. So, this is so far what we got going on. Take my phone off charge here. Come on, thing. Work with me. So, coming over here to the other side of the shop. So far, hood is still off. Heat shield is still off of the front end, and so is the hood mount. I gotta do a little bit more work to clean things up. I really need to take a wire wheel and clean the magnet off of here, because what this does is it allows for the motor, or the mower, after it starts, to produce its own electrical current to fire the spark plug. And I'm not fully, I don't remember exactly if I covered where the fuse was at when I originally started doing the conversion. When I originally started doing the conversion, I actually popped a fuse that is in most mowers now. Rarely to ever do you find a actual starting solenoid that's roughly about the size of a $50 around and about 1.5 to 2 inches tall. But anyways, up here behind the gas tank on the right side, if you're sitting on the mower, you'll find this little plug where a fuse will be. Originally, this was a 20 amp plug or fuse, but now it's up to a 30. It's not what was supposed to be in there originally, but with the added voltage or added amps compared to what it was using for a normal ride mower battery, it needed to be bumped up. And I know I could easily melt a wire, catch it on fire. I'm not really worried about that. I'm more focused on trying to get this running, get everything set up and good to go. So when it comes better weather and I can start loading this up in the truck and taking out the random trails, I can start doing all that. But coming here to the back of the mower, we finally got the new battery box built. I tinkered with it on and off for a couple weeks, but overall, it's finally hooked up. It's finally good to go. I do need to add in a couple supports here on the bottom because that's really flimsy. And last thing I need is to be going down a trail and the two 7/16 bolts that I got holding that just snap. Something I want to avoid. But overall, everything that I've built or I've used to get it running so far, you could easily go to your automotive section at Walmart or your automotive store and your hardware store like Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Roll King. I could have found everything there for this, from the wire or the terminal extension wires all the way down to the welding wire I would have needed to weld this whole thing together. Something that might do in the future is extend the frame, add a weight box to the front. But granted, extending the frame, I really won't need to add a weight box. But I might do just as a precaution. And I'll probably build a better weight box than 3 pieces of angle iron and like 4 bolts. Yeah. The Cub Cadet really doesn't like that. let alone that little setup. It works, but it's to get by until I get this little gem finished. Which, if I do that, I'm actually going to have to rethink or redo my whole setup, because I'll have to put the trailer hitch on the back. So I might move the battery box to the side of the mower. And that'll be a whole nother thing. But kind of one thing still to do for the battery box is build a lid, let alone a moderately watertight one, to at least prevent most water getting in. A little bit of water doesn't really bother me, because, okay, I can take some spray foam or AB foam and line it. But overall, it's just about there. Still got to sort out the idle issue that I have with this whole thing. Something I might add in is like a small little 9-volt fuel pump. They're 12 volt actually, because that's what most fuel pumps are, but if I could find a small 9-volt motor that I can turn into a fuel pump, then hey, here we go. Which actually, I have a motor I could probably use. I just got to build a small housing assembly for it. That's a whole nother thing for another day. Which, if I do that, I may just use copper. That way it can all be soldered together. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in to all the videos so far. Help us keep going by subscribing, post notifications, comment on ideas or questions you may have. We can answer them in the future, which hopefully I can get Firewolf, Lone Wolf, Not Your Daddy, and, well, Dear 9to5 Lover doesn't really like to make appearances, except for like one video. But, it's whatever. I'm not going to stress it, because she doesn't really like this sort of thing. But, have a good one, guys. Keep it muddy.